Yeah, that was a long time ago, actually. We're way past that now, and that was exciting to get a W there. Great stadium. The fans were awesome. Really want to thank the Bulldog fans for coming out. It was amazing. I was coming out of the ramp because I didn't think it was going to be that loud there, and heard this big commotion. I'm like, okay, it is going to be loud, and then I realized it was our fans. So that was a really cool feeling for our players. But that's over now, and that feels like a long time ago. And now we have this game to prepare for.
And what can you say about the offense scoring 17 of its last 19 drives, the momentum that they seem to be rolling with right now?
Yeah, I really didn't realize that, but it's we've been pretty efficient. Have not turned the ball over a lot, even though we had a fumble the other night. But I think we've been pretty good on third down, and guys are making plays. I think the offensive line's playing well, and as far as giving Jake some time, and the receivers are making a lot of plays, and so been fairly efficient.
Coach, I know from the outside the fans feel momentum with this 5-game winning streak, but you've talked every week about staying focused in the moment. So how do you see that this week with this Nevada team, and what's your mission for your players?
It's the same as it is every single week. We've been on a 1 week at a time thing for a long time now, and this is no different, really. It's always about purpose, preparation, and commitment. And and we've talked about this. The purpose in November, just continues to get magnified, and so then it comes down to preparation and commitment on how we prepare what we do. So it's no different this week than it has been in the previous weeks.
And what stands out about this Nevada team on film?
Well, they could be dangerous. They had San Jose 28-28 at the end of the game there. Play hard, and they have capabilities. They have a really good running back. They have a couple good receivers. They have capability of scoring points, and so I think it's senior day for them. That always brings a lot of emotion for any team. So I know they'll be fired up for that, and so we're going to have to bring our best game in order to be successful.
What's the biggest area where you see growth during this win streak? I mean, if you look at your team and how they're executing now compared to the losing streak before the winning streak, what's the biggest thing that makes a difference? I don't know that there's a ton of difference other than we really haven't turned the ball over. Our kids always play hard. In that 4-game streak back then, we played some quality opponents. We were pretty banged up at the time. I think all 4 of our losses came against teams that are bowl eligible now, and 3 of them in the top 30, I think. And lost some fourth quarter games. But I think resilience, you could point that out because we've been in some fourth quarter games that early in the year we didn't pull through, and we have lately. And so, I think it's a tribute to the kids of continuing to believe and execute.
Coach, have you crossed paths with Coach Wilson previously, and what are some of the staples you see from his program so far?
No, I have not. Only at the head coaches meetings. Had a chance to meet him there, and seemed like a really good guy. Enjoyed hanging out and visiting with him. I don't know. We're just kind of getting into him yesterday and today, so just kind of still trying to figure him out, to tell you the truth. But he's in the position he's in because he's been very successful. So, I'm sure he'll have his team ready to play.
You've been a part of some major rebuilds here in Cal. Do you have an impression on what some of these other coaches are going through, not only rebuilding programs, but inheriting teams that are losing a lot of players in the portal in this current era?
No, that's all something new right now. I didn't necessarily go through that. When we took over here after one win, that was not something that was going on. When we took over at Cal with one win, that was definitely not going on then.
So the landscape of college football is just so different these days, and so I really don't know, how to approach that type of thing. I think you use the portal to your best of your ability, but it's such a moving target these days. I mean, the days of, okay, you have 12 seniors and you have 12 scholarships to give, and that's a set number, those days are gone. There's attrition, you never know what's going to happen, I think it's just a moving target. College football is a moving target as far as personnel is concerned these days.
And speaking of that, I believe you only have a few players that are technically out of eligibility after this year. How have you been navigating recruiting for your own cycle this year?
Yeah, I think really we have 12, and guys that are out of eligibility, and but a lot of some guys that have already. We have a lot of players on our team who have graduated, and some guys may want to continue to play, and some guys may not. They've been here, they got their degree, and they may want to move on and go to work or do something else. I don't know, but that's not something we're necessarily getting into right now. That's not a topic I'm talking to our kids about. We're focused on the job at hand, and that's this week's game, and and then we'll deal with the rest of it later.
Are there any updates on Kelly or Payne or any other injury concerns?
No, I haven't got an update on them today yet. Yesterday they were still being evaluated, and today at 4 o'clock we have our staff meeting, and then we just take it day by day from there. Each and every day we get an update on how they're doing, and so we'll see today. I'm not sure yet.
Coach, you go from playing a game in a controlled environment to a game where you're going to have to deal with the elements. What changes preparation-wise, and what are the guys prepared for? Where I think the high is going to be like 46 during the day and 21 at night.
Yeah, that's really not something we can control. Thankfully though, it's kind of chilly this morning, and we practice in the morning, so we'll get a little bit of that this week. But you never know what's going to happen there. It could be windy, it could be snowing. From what I saw, you're right. I think it said 43 and 18 was the high and the low, but didn't have any chance of precipitation from what I saw, but that can change in a heartbeat. We just have to go play no matter what it is. There's not a whole lot we can do. We can't bring in snow. We can't do any of that. It's just, we have to do what we have to do. But thankfully, it's chilly right now in the morning, so I think we'll get some good work that way.
By playing on Friday, it gave you an opportunity to maybe do some scoreboard watching, watch some games on Saturday. Were you watching the San Jose State-San Diego State game and rooting for the Aztecs to win?
Yeah, I was watching that along with the Reno, Nevada game, and yeah, I mean, obviously, for San Diego State to win, put us in a little bit better position, but still, we have to go out and do our job, so. But yeah, got a chance to watch quite a bit of football on the day off.
You mentioned Jackson asked you about the injury updates to Kelly and Payne. Where's Abe right now, Abe Montadio? I mean, Dylan obviously did a phenomenal job, but what's Abe's status?
Again, same as what I just mentioned about the other guys. We'll see how he's doing. I would anticipate not kicking him tomorrow until we break him back in slowly to make sure that he's 100% healthy. Because that's been a nagging thing for him for weeks, and so last week we didn't kick him, and so we'll see how he's doing today, and then out of practice tomorrow we'll see how that's going, but we won't fully kick him. I wouldn't anticipate doing that again tomorrow, and just break him in, and then maybe on Wednesday, but we'll see.
How nice is it then, Coach, to know that you have two kickers now with some experience, with the way that Dylan kicks the ball?
Yeah, I think we've been pretty comfortable with that pretty much all year. Because we see what Dylan does in practice, and obviously he's our kickoff guy, and he's been doing a really good job on kickoffs. And what's really helpful is both those guys are left-footed, right? So that makes it a lot easier on the holder, right? To where you're not switching back and forth between a right-footed kicker and a left-footed kicker. So it's kind of nice to have two left-footers.
You mentioned, that you guys, now the loss by San Diego, or the loss by San Jose State could clinch the West Division. Will that be part of the message to the players?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of what we've been talking about every week about the link in the chain of what you play for each week. And we really haven't talked about that all year long until like November. You know, when November started, you know, then the games became, not that the other ones weren't meaningful, they just become a little bit more meaningful in that things are starting to take shape, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it, but it's not something, you know, that we're not gonna be an everyday thing. You know, tomorrow morning at the team meeting, we'll talk about, you know, where we stand and what it means and what we need to get done. And then from there, it's one play at a time, every practice, you know, and making sure that we're going completely focused to play our best.
Jalen, obviously, I think in the first half of the season, a little frustration there, and he might have even shown a little bit of that frustration at times.
Who's this?
Jalen Cropper.
Oh, Cropper.
Yeah, with the way that...
We got a lot of Jalen's on the team.
That's true. And he's really come on, obviously, the last 3 or 4 weeks, second half of the season. Have you seen anything different, or is it just something where, you know, he's getting the ball and he's making plays?
Yeah, there's nothing different, really. You know, I think early on, you know, when we're playing a brand new quarterback, and, you know, that has something to do with it. Obviously, you know, Jake's kind of in his own league when it comes to that, and so at least on our team, and so, you know, I think that's helped quite a bit. But he's led the conference in receiving all year long, I think, you know. So, but he just wants to win. You know, Crop just wants to win, and he wants to do whatever he can to help us win. And obviously, he's been a big part of it here lately.
And finally, for me, is this kind of how you imagine the offense, you know, clicking at the beginning of the year? I mean, is it close to where you want it to be, or is there still a lot of room for improvement?
There's still room for improvement. There's no doubt about it. Each and every week, you play different teams. You know, different defensive structures, different coverage combinations, different blitz packages, all of that stuff. You know, and so I think it's really important to be diverse as far as, you know, some weeks we're able to run it better than others, and some weeks we're better to protect better than others. You know, it kind of just depends on what goes on, you know, and you know, but I mean, that's the offensive job of moving the ball and scoring points. And yes, we could be better. We don't score touchdowns every time, and obviously that's the goal.
Coach, on the defense, I noticed that during games they kind of adjust in the middle of the game and get better and adjust to what the other team's doing. What's characteristic that you would use to describe your defense this season?
Yeah, I think we've made adjustments. I think our guys have gotten used to kind of what's coming at them to see what the offense is trying to get done. And I think we've been really good in the red zone. You know, even though if we give up some plays, when we get down to the red zone, we've done a good job of stiffening up most of the time in the red zone. The other night, we made a couple adjustments up front, and that kind of helped us. And I think some of that on defense is every offense has a way they're going to attack you, and then you get it figured out, you know, and then you try to make adjustments that's going to help that. And you know, so I thought that was a really good offense we played the other night. They got all their players back, their quarterback, their running back, the receiver, very good offensive line. That was a really good unit. And so, you know, while it wasn't perfect, I thought in the second half we made some adjustments and did a good job there.
I know Houston's been unavailable, so Norris has been in that nickel spot, but he's been playing pretty well. What do you think about Norris's play on Friday?
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's very fast, you know, and physical, and, you know, really good thing about him is he can cover. You know, if you're going to play man coverage, he can run with people, and so you know, he's physical in the run game, because your nickel is like an outside linebacker, right? But they need to cover. And so he's physical enough to play in the run game. He can blitz well, but he can run receivers down the field too. So he's been doing a good job. Even he gets better each and every week because he's kind of new at the game a little bit, right? And so, like I said, each week is a new challenge depending on what offense we play. And so it's a learning experience for him every week.
Also a Sangre Apache, just like Cropper and everyone else. But last question for me, Fresno State and Nevada, they play each other almost every year. They've been in the WAC together, they're now in the Mountain West together. What's your thoughts on this rivalry? That's not technically a rivalry because there's no trophy on the line.
Yeah, we played you're right. I mean, it's played them for a long time. You know, I remember that's the game that my senior year in '82. It's the only game we lost. That was the one, you know, that our coaches' wives had a horrific car accident, and so it goes all the way back there. You know, when Coach Alt was there. You know, and they've always had a strong program. You know, Coach Alt did a great job there as the coach, and then as the AD, and back again as the coach, and you know, so they've always been very strong. You know, and you know, good fan base. It can get very loud there, you know, at times, and you know, so we have a lot of respect for them, no doubt about it. We've had some hard-fought games against them.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
We need more touchdowns, Steven. I mean, yeah, you scored 17 out of 19 drives. It's great, but you know, I think I can do a better job putting the end zone at times, not kicking field goals, and I think you always want to try to find ways to improve and, you know, evaluate yourself. So, you know, that stat's great, but you know, we got to continue to score touchdowns.
And speaking of stats, you're currently leading the FBS in completion accuracy. What does that kind of mean to you?
I mean, I'm just trying to execute at a high level and do everything I can, and you know, I got a lot of really good players, like I said, on the outside helping me, and you know, offensive line's been doing a good job the last couple of games, keeping me upright and giving me a chance to throw the ball down the field. So, you know, you just got to keep improving, keep doing everything you can to get better, and just keep winning games.
I don't know if many people in the Valley saw the first pass that was deflected and then intercepted. It was obviously called back into offsides because the broadcast hadn't started yet. But, I mean, how confident were you to continue to go to him, and obviously had one of the best games in his career?
Yeah, no. It was obviously we were trying to get him to jump off sides there and get a free play, and got a free play, and the ball kind of just popped off my hand, and I saw Jalen. They ended up trapping the corner of the field, and Jalen ran right by him, and the field safety couldn't get over there fast enough and just try to give him a chance. And, you know, stuff like that happens. You know, drop the ball, I'm going to go back to him. He's one of the best playmakers in the conference and on the West Coast, so, you know, got to give him every chance to make plays.
You know, in the vein of what you said about always trying to get better, better. The first 3 incompletions I think you had in that game, they were all high.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you being a little too juiced up? Was that 2,100 feet altitude? What was it?
Shoot, the one to Zane, me and Zane talked, he's like, dude, that one came a little extra hot. I wasn't expecting it to come that hot, and I threw it a touch high. You know, we talked about it, like to get that one completed, but then the one to Eric I just kind of missed, and you know, I kind of got it under control after that. But yeah, I want to be as perfect as possible and do everything I can to give the guys a chance to make a play on every football. So, you know, obviously that's on me. Got to give them a catchable football and give them a chance to make a play with it. I was talking to Coach after the game. I missed that one up the seam, and that was the one that really bothered me. I tried to anticipate a little too much. I just needed to trust that the number 3 guy we had crossing the field safety's face was going to grab him, and I was going to be able to get Brooksy up the seam. But, you know, you live and learn, and you just continue to get better and, you know, move on to the next week.
I know you've been working on your mental approach for a long time, long before you had the injury. But is there something different about your focus since you've come back from the injury? Do you notice anything different as you prepare for a game or how you embrace every opportunity?
Do you notice anything different?
I mean, you're playing pretty stinking well. But
Thank
I just
you.
wondered from the inside.
You know, I just feel this year in general, I feel like just a much more controlled approach to everything. And I think you might have said something I see more calm. And I don't know if it's that. I just feel like I'm confident with what I'm doing, and I'm confident in the preparation that I'm putting in, and confident in my teammates and their ability to make plays for me. And I feel like the game's really slowed down a lot this year. And I think Cam after the game, there was something about Derek Jeter where he's like, if you prepare, the game slows down for you. And obviously I felt like last year was really my first year as the starter. And I keep trying to tell myself I haven't really played a ton of games here. I've really played a full 2 seasons, I think, now. And the last, I would say, 5-6 games, I felt like it's really started to click for me, and just approach-wise, how I study tape, what my weeks look like, my routines, and, you know, everything's just kind of flowing right now.
Jake, new coaches, new defense, new personnel over at Nevada. What stands out about that group to you? you so far?
It's quarters and man, and they're going to try to, obviously challenge us and obviously try to bring some heat probably and make things uncomfortable. So, I got to talk to Kirby, and that's why I'm here now early. I got to go up there this afternoon and break a couple games down and talk to them and see what their thoughts are and put some stuff together. So, we'll watch, evaluate, and kind of go from there.
You brushed off last week playing in Allegiant, but I've got to imagine playing in essentially 20-degree weather plays a factor, right? Or what?
You go back and you look at in some of the past stuff. I would say my best games are when it's cold. We played in Utah and it was 22 degrees, threw for 400 and whatever, and then playing Nevada in 2020 as well, and it's 20 degrees and we're swinging the ball over the field. So, I don't think that's a problem. We got heated benches, and I'll stay loose and do my thing on the sideline and just play. It's not a big deal.
You mentioned after the UNLV game, Jake, that your thumb was cramping up a little bit. Did you figure out the cause of that?
It's kind of been something that's happened every once in a while in the past. I don't know what it is. It's kind of weird. It just kind of happens sometimes. And late in the third, fourth quarter there were some times where I was on the sideline, and then in between plays it started locking up on me. So I was just trying to stretch it and mess around with it a little bit just so it wouldn't start cramping up when I'm trying to drop back. But it wasn't a big deal.
So that didn't affect your ability to throw or grip the football?
No, it wasn't. It was just kind of bothering me a little bit in between drives, but I was having our trainers work on it, in between, when we were on defense, and went back out there and performed.
Any concern that the cold in Reno might affect it?
I don't think cold's ever had a problem with it. No, I don't think it's a big deal.
Scoreboard watching on Saturday. The coach said that he watched the San Diego State-San Jose State game, the Boise State-Nevada game. What games did you watch on Saturday?
I was watching San Diego State, San Jose. Our boy Kyle Harmon over there, and linebacker at San Jose, was giving me some words of encouragement for the Rebs on Friday. He was a big Rebels fan, and I was a big Aztec fan on Saturday, so I had to go give him a little, dish it back to him a little bit on Saturday and let him know that their performance wasn't the best on Saturday, and it was good to see it.
Game that you didn't mention, Washington beat Oregon. You guys obviously played at Oregon last year, and Washington's coach was your coach last year. Have you reached out to Grubb or DeBoer, or any thoughts on that win for the Huskies?
No, those guys are obviously a great group, and I got nothing but respect for them. And I haven't really talked to them a ton. They've just been kind of doing their own thing, and I'm proud of them, and they know that our relationship will go way past football, and I'm just happy to see them winning on that side.
With the San Diego State win, obviously you guys are aware of the fact that you can clinch the West Division if you win one of your last two games. Mm-hmm. Do you talk to the team about that, knowing that you could theoretically go into the last game of the season knowing that you already have a spot in the Mountain West Championship game if you guys win on Saturday?
Obviously they played Saturday night late, and yesterday we kind of just had an off day, so I haven't really had a chance to talk with the guys about that yet, but I just think you go about your same week of preparation and prepare at a high level and do everything you can to, beat Nevada. I just think, if you start looking ahead, you're doing yourself a disservice. So, this team just needs to stay in the present and do everything they can to prepare, come to practice on Tuesday and have a great Tuesday and just roll.
Jake, I know that when Devontae was here, things were a little crazy, and I don't know, you guys didn't get a chance, or Devontae didn't get a chance to talk to you. Did you guys have any interaction with Derek or Devontae this past weekend?
No, I didn't see him. I know they got a bunch of stuff going on with them, and super focused on what they're doing, and obviously Derek's doing his deal, and I'm sure obviously they're not where they want to be right now, so just focusing on what they got to do. That's the best thing that they can do, and that's the most important, obviously. And I'm rooting for them and hoping they can get back on track. But no, we didn't talk to them.
You talked about what Crop brings on the football field. What about him as an actor in that bank ad? What do you think?
Oh, I think I did see that bank ad. No, that was funny. Those guys do a good job over there with those commercials. So, no, man, Crop's a great dude. On the field and off the field. So whatever he's going to do in life, I think he'll be successful.
I think the Valley might be a little bit surprised that we haven't seen Jake Hayner in one of those ads or, on an ad somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't had a ton of opportunities, It's just trying to do everything I can to be as productive for the Bulldogs on Friday and Saturday nights, and just putting all my attention towards the team and towards the program right now.
The mental coach, is that something that's new this year, or is that something you've had all along?
So when I was at UW, I had a sports psychologist as well, but obviously the transition, him being employed at Washington, and then he actually moved positions and got hired at Auburn. I kind of lost connection with him, and then going into 2020, I wanted to have somebody to talk to, and I kind of had somebody at home in the Bay Area that was a resource for me. This past year, I started talking to John Beck, my quarterback coach, who I have a really good relationship with. Started talking to him about, just kind of things if they come up, how to handle them, what to do, what your thought process needs to be. And then I got connected with Brett Sandwick from Coach McCann, actually, who's really good friends with him. And I feel like the combination of John and Brett have really just helped me go into each week with a mental game plan and just how to handle things if adversity hits, and then when things are going well, how to stay focused. And we all do our best to stay focused 100% of the time, but if your mind wanders somewhere else, how to kind of just bring yourself back and get back to the present moment. And Brett always says you can only perform your best in the present moment and nowhere else. So I've been doing a really good job of just trying to stay in that frame of mind.
On paper, you guys are going to be a big favorite in this game against Nevada. Is it incumbent on you as a leader to kind of preach the message of, this could be a trap game, that kind of thing?
I think, been doing this a long time now, and I think any team can beat any team on any Saturday. So, I think we learned that last year. I hope we learned that last year. And I just think, like I said, like I continue to say, preparation is the separator in all this. So, just got to prepare at a high level, do everything you can to be as prepared as possible for Saturday night, and be fired up and ready to go.
Morning, Jake.
Morning.
I know that you and Jalen have a relationship just like you with every receiver, but Jalen had some really kind words to say after the game on Friday. What can you say about you and Jalen's relationship?
Yeah, we've been working together since 2020, and I just think the relationship piece is definitely going to go beyond football with us. He's a great friend of mine and has done a lot of good things for this program. Will continue to. But yeah, no, it's fun to go execute at a high level. It's definitely fun when you're putting points on the board and he's catching the ball and scoring touchdowns, and we're operating at a high level. So I just think you got to keep doing that and just continue to execute.
And last question, you played Nevada twice already. Is there like a different level of intensity facing the Wolfpack as opposed to any other divisional rival?
I don't think so. I think you just, like I said, go prepare and do your thing, and whatever they're showing on defense, I'm going to do my best to give the guys an opportunity to make plays and just continue to execute at a high level. I don't think there's anything different about Nevada than UNLV. So just got to execute and get the win.
All right, gotcha.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.